Hello traders and welcome to another technical analysis video brought to you by Orbex.com. You're now surfing the waves with Richard. Today is the 18th of October, 2:28 p.m. Eastern European Standard Time, and what I want to do today is I want to do an intraday update. I'm going to update two of my recently posted one video and one article here on technical analysis. So let's say for instance 2 days ago on October 16th posted this YouTube video, right, in which I'm actually explaining possibility for dollar index to rise right here on intraday chart on the 2-hour chart, and I'm actually, let's say for instance, technically speaking, I would expect some sort of contraction and a completion of an expanded flat as a possibility for the dollar index. So this was back then, like 2 days ago, right? And also for gold, I was expecting more downside before a possible reversal. And let's say what's next, the crude oil to actually start decreasing a little bit. And yeah, all right. And of course, all right, no problem. Now for euro, of course, a bit more downside again as a possibility, which actually happened. So right here, I'm gonna update these charts because I believe that the market could be located at a juncture, a crucial point where multiple reversals could actually occur, including, let's say, for instance, a more of a softer US dollar, a bullish Euro USD, and pound US dollar. Uh, Maybe a US dollar yen to possibly decline further. All right. So this is basically the USD Euro USD structure right here, which I'm explaining a little bit of both, right? And the pound dollar, where I was actually right here at the top explaining a possible corrective pattern towards the downside, right? And the USD Swiss explaining possibility for this to rise and possibly complete an entire 5 wave sequence. We'll see. All right. And Aussie dollar, same thing with the leading diagonal right here in this first wave. And what's next? Yeah, Euro GBP more downside and so on. So basically, this was 2 days ago now. Following up on the on yesterday's article on October 17th, I'm actually placing these this charts here on dollar index to our chart on the euro as well, on the pound, US dollar, and let's say gold right here, yeah, with a possible ending diagonal in the C leg for a completion, possible completion that is, and yeah, possibly more downside for silver, which actually occurred, right? So more, I mean, all of them seem to be on track, right? So my this analysis, current analysis is seems to be okay, right? As for Germany 30, the DAX more upside, let's say for instance, and for Dow, possible more downs, more upside, but with a larger picture in view. And this is precisely the reason because VIX before it actually spiked right here. Yeah, I was actually present right here, noting you guys, letting you guys know about my thoughts, right? So this actually spiked and Dow Jones lost 2,000 points back then. Now what I believe is happening is the VIX is retracing on the downside with sharp correction in a wave 4 because wave 2 was a complete zigzag right here, right? Complete correction, and this might be a sharp correction. We are hitting some levels right now, and I'm gonna go on the intraday charts for that. So let's say for instance I'm on the live chart here on the dollar index 2 hours time frame. Okay, so what I'm noticing is possible completion of a pattern, either in a 1, 2, right, for more downside to possibly occur, or in an A, B, which will make this, of course, an expanded flat in a B wave, right? Nevertheless, the main view would be, let's say, for instance, maybe a bearish divergence at the top of that fifth leg within this small C subminuet, but a completion of the minuet black too, right? So the view is pretty clear, let's say for instance, and the levels in focus would be intraday wise today or possibly tomorrow, 95.90 or 96, right, for the dollar index. Let's see exactly, let's see what would actually happen there. Next, gold, right? Did indeed drop a little bit here, but I believe it's struggling off to possibly make a nice bullish divergence. So if the dollar index would give that last rise, then this could be, let's say, more of a sharp fall and then an immediate response on the upside. So we'll see how this actually behaves. As for silver, we have a drop, right? What I believe right now is happening is possibly a consolidation, one more for a nice bullish divergence right here, and for this thing to actually pop up on the upside, right? As for crude oil right here, it's things are going according to the analysis. I mean, I've been pretty much, let's say, active at the end of September, right there, where it started dropping, right? So how I'm labeling it is in a proper impulse, and I believe that the trend is actually changing because at the end of a trend, from an Elliott wave perspective, you need to have five legs on the upside to finish and five legs on the downside to actually start. So this is actually confirming. Let's say, for instance, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the extension 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, right? Let's say if this actually happens. So would this be an A? Would this be a 1? We will never know, right? According to how this, I mean, we will know. Um, according to how this would unfold. In a simple correction, this will be a 2. In a complex correction, like this, then this would be a V, right? So we'll see how this will actually unfold. Yeah. Now moving on, euro dollar. What I believe is happening is I believe euro dollar could actually make one more on the downside. Let's say, for instance, for a proper bullish divergence right here in an expanded flat. So I'm labeling this either a wave 2 or a wave B, as long as it doesn't travel beyond the starting point of this swing, it can be labeled as a wave 2, right? Regardless. So I really don't like to label expanded flats and running flats in a wave 2, but I'm accepting this one as a possibility because I'm actually expecting a very powerful swing on the upside, let's say, right? According to my previous analysis, and obviously you guys should um, check the previously posted videos for that, right? To see basically what I'm actually seeing. Okay, so let's say for instance on the pound US dollar, I'm labeling this as a potential zigzag, right, or a simple flat correction in this wave 2. And what I would like to know is if this 100% level would actually hold, or this could make one bigger drop until 161.8 before it could possibly turn. So that's actually the main question, and this could actually happen in a flash, right? Let's say, and euro yen, sorry, US dollar yen, right? Dollar yen was actually active right there. Okay. So right now I've actually posted some updates right there, but also let's say for instance on all of them actually, even on the let's say for instance on Euro USD, as you guys can actually see, right, down and then possibly up, but also here when it was approaching another view for the upside, right? So right now I'm at it again. Okay, as for the pound dollar, kind of the same setups right about there, okay, with this view on the upside. But before that, I was actually inclining for possibly more downside before the actual change. So right now, I'm obviously active once more to see these potential setups. So USD yen, yeah, similar to the dollar index, I'm actually labeling this in a wave 2 because I do believe we have a 5-wave sequence on the downside, notice 5-wave sequence on the upside, right? So this could be a trend reversal for this, let's say for instance, intermediate degree. Use this Swiss, same possibly, I mean probably the same actual thing right there, right? So let me just see something here. Okay, all right. Anyway, this has been posted, let's say for instance yesterday, just for you to keep track on what I'm actually saying right here, okay? Now the point is that this could actually surprise one more, yeah, as in one, two, three, four, and then the fifth leg on a minute scale, and we could actually see something happening, right? So yeah, even right here, yeah, up, down, and then of course the upside, right, after this wave finished. I'm thinking that five waves are ending on the upside for the dollar Swiss, and it could actually commence a bearish sequence. Now, on the Aussie dollar, I'm labeling it the bounce as first minute green, then second minute sharp correction in wave 2 green, right? And a leading diagonal in minuet black, and I would be comfortable with a proper zigzag correction in wave 2, so it could actually be a proper correction, of course, and the possible start of a rally in an extension, bullish extension for this, right? Same thing for the Kiwi NZD USD right here. I'm not sure because this leg hasn't really hit the necessary fibs which I would be comfortable with. So I'm thinking that this could actually, let's say for instance, maybe do something like that in one more for the downside before the actual change in a zigzag structure. So you see everything is kind of aligning for one more temporary strength for the US dollar intraday wise, right? CAC 40, France 40 right here. Just like all the indices, I'm actually expecting a little bit, possibly more, let's say upside short term, but medium term I'm expecting that sharper fall, and the reason for that would be the continuation of the VIX spike, and I'm gonna go on the VIX spike pretty fast so we can actually see what I mean. Now, okay, now let's say for instance we have the DAX 30 on a 2-hour chart right here, and the way it retraced on the upside, right? Obviously, you guys know my views, okay, for this DAX when it was at the actual top right there, okay, went down like a rock, and yeah, right here it started retracing, bouncing off. So what I want to know is this gonna be an A, B, and then C for either a W or a completion of this Y even, right? But the way it's starting, it doesn't look impulsive at all, right? In fact, it has multiple corrective features. So this could be either a B or a fourth wave. But the point is that after this swing should start dropping, because if it doesn't, it drops well, half of it, then if it goes up once more and all that, it's going to complicate the structure a little bit, and frankly I'm not really seeing that, but what I'm seeing is possibly one more upside, proper bearish divergence, end of a wave 4 in an ABC, so AB, then 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4 5, and then to pass to possibly continue, right? All right, so moving on, Euro GBP. I was actually, you guys know where I'm coming from with that actual view right there, right? For the downside, yeah, and we have basically what we need right there. Now, how I'm labeling it is in an extension. 1, 2, minor scale, 1, 2, minute, then minuet, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll see how this behaves right here. If it makes a triangle or if it wants to touch the top and then continue. It is a pretty difficult wave count, but the outlook is mostly for the downside for that. So Euro Yen, this has a difficult structure right here. However, the way it moves, okay, could be corrective, right? Because it's hovering around right here, and this could be a triangle, right? In which case a bounce could actually occur. So, but even so, if this actually happens, I would see this as a completion, possible completion of a larger degree pattern, which could push this very, very low, right? Same thing. So we have two scenarios here on the euro yen. Either it goes here and starts, And if it starts, then the trend could be decided, or it goes up before the trend could actually change for good. So for the medium towards long term, right? Same structure on the pound yen, right? Because this could actually start. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if the VIX actually spikes, the yen could gain a lot of strength, especially, I mean, against the US dollar mostly, of course, but also against the euro and against the pound, even though the pound dollar and the pound and the euro dollar would actually rise. Okay, so the VIX spike could be complicated. As for the pound Swiss, not sure if I should count this as a 1, 2, and then like this, or should I be inclining for a proper correction right here before continuation, right? So we'll see. We'll have to monitor this, but even so, you know, this was actually, let's say for instance, noted from the actual bottoms, right? So we'll wait and see right here. Now, as for USD CAD, it has to do something right here. It is a decisive moment at these levels, so either it's gonna continue, right? Right here now, or it's gonna possibly make one more before the actual drop. So if that's if that would be the case, right? So let's just jump on the VIX before we go to the US indices, because what I'm seeing is on the VIX, what I'm seeing basically, let's say for instance, this was the moment just before the Dow Jones lost 2,000 points when I posted this view on the VIX possibly spiking. There you go, it did, right? So right now, the way I'm labeling it is as a 1, 2, and I'm labeling it as a C wave, right? Because this thing started in the free swings sequence, so I'm labeling it as an A in a flat correction, right? And then let's say for instance, right here, have a 1 and then 2, right? And right after that, a spike actually started. So I'm labeling the spike as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which could actually end this wave free. And then wave 4 retracing more than 30.2. Okay, it's okay, it's the fix. I'm okay with it, right? But it mustn't go lower than the 61.8, which is something I have an alert on. However, this thing could be quite dangerous because if this is a 1, 2, and this is actually a 1 and then a 2, then we could be in for a very big spike. I'm not gonna jump the gun right now, but I'm just keeping that possibility in mind. Okay. As for Dow Jones, you guys know, I mean, Dow Jones on a 4-hour chart right here, right before the big spike, up and then down, right? Amazing, 2,000 points. Now, what I'm seeing is a possible last rise right there, and bearish divergence, let's say, for instance. Let me just move this thing, all right? So it could, it could actually have more downside, let's say, for instance, because this is mostly this is a complicated structure, and right here for this to be a second wave, it's kind of it's not really agreeing, right? So it looks corrective, has corrective features, hence the reason why I believe this could be a wave 4 correction before more downside, right? Okay, now next S&P 500, same scenario as the Dow Jones, 1, 2, and then the extension 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, and then ABC with a possible bull flag right here, and let's say for instance maybe a bearish divergence and more downside to actually occur, right? So we'll keep an eye on that. Same structure. I mean, not exact, but anyway, the point is Nasdaq is kind of looks the same. Here is we have a different structure because Nasdaq is one step ahead, let's say, with a wave count. So A, B, intermediate red, and then everything red, right? Minor 1, 2, minute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minor 3 complete, and then ABC, right? For the minor 4, possibly more downside, similar to Dow Jones and S&P 500, same type of structures, same type of corrections. Okay, so we'll basically see when how these things would actually turn out to unfold as I'm mentioning. So as you can actually see, by the time we spent right here, the dollar actually is showing something, right? So yeah, just want to leave you guys with something for the rest of this week. And until next time, as I like to say to all my traders, stay in the green and many pips ahead.